This is Daf Samachay of the Yerushalmi Berachos, according to the article Oswald edition. The Vilna edition started from Mem Vav on the base. The thing is like this: we got up to the Halacha Gimel yesterday, and we're going to start from there. But I wanted to make one point, which my Chavrusa made back in Tavshin Samach Vav. I'm not sure exactly who the Chavrusa was at the time, but he made the point that the Ikar and Fela in Yerushalmi, and we're going to see in Halacha Daled, is not necessarily the Ikar and Fela of the Bavli. Ikar and Fela and the Bavli is, when it's mixed together, we determine what's the Ikar, and that we make the bracha. But the Ikar and Fela in the Yerushalmi is actually what's the Ikar of the Suda. And therefore, it's possible to learn like Pei Moshe, that says that Achunya is prunes, and that nevertheless you would make the bracha on the Kafluta because the Kafluta is the Ikar at Suda. In other words, despite the fact that the prunes are there, they're not the primary, filling food stuff. So therefore, it's possible to learn like that. And again, according to Yerushalmi, we have to see in Halacha Daled about that it's different understanding of Ikar and Tefillah. Halacha Gimel. Al davar shein gilul min haaretz, something which doesn't grow from the ground. Omer shakol neh bidvaro. Al chometz and vinegar, al guvai and locust, al novlos and fruit which falls unripe off the tree. Omer shakol neh bidvaro. And mekosh min klala ein mevarchim of anything which is a curse, which is of course the latter two things, locust and fruit falls unripe from the tree. You don't make a bracha. And we're going to discuss that. Hechmetzieno. This is all not according to Rabbi Yehuda. This is what Rabbanan Shita. If your wine went sour, Omer Baruch Danamis. You say Baruch Danamis. If you come to eat it, Omer Shakol Neh Bidvaro. Because vinegar, it's the final analysis. It is food, like shakol. Welcome 5, you see locusts coming, Omer Baruch Danamis, because they're going to destroy the fields. You come to eat them, Omer Shakol Neh Bidvaro. You see unripe fruit falling off the tree, or fell off the tree, Omer Baruch Danamis. You come to eat it, Omer Shakol Neh Bidvaro. That's all the shita of the Tanakama against Rabbi Yehuda. Halacha Daled. In front of minim harbe, you have many species in front of you. The one of them is from the Shiva Saminim. Make a bracha on that. Say you have the right to make a bracha on whichever one you want. You don't have to go after the Shiva Saminim. Now the Gemara here is very difficult. So I want to precede the interpretation of the Gemara with the Shita Sagra, which is the Shita Sagra, which is that at the time of the Mishnah they did not make a burning of fashos on anything. There was no bracha burning of fashos yet, and anything which is not b'shiva saminim, there'd be no bracha achronis, just a bracha rishona. And the Gemara explains this Gemara on the basis of that assumption. But we're going to go with the Mashbiach, who among the Muslim Farshim here learns that it was a shakol, there was a burning of fashos at the time. So B'Shua ben Levi Amar Ma Pligan Rabbi Yehuda Rabbanan Ksher B'Daitu Lechopas. The machlekes of whether you can go by what you prefer, or you go by what you can go by. You have to do Shiva Saminim is when you had in mind to eat bread. So anyway, you're going to be Yotzei the bracha achron of benching. So the fact there's a difference in the bracha achron between the Shiva Saminim and anything else is not a factor in determining what you should make the bracha on, because Lamaisa, you're going to make the Birkas HaMazon regardless, and that's going to cover everything. Even I made bread. Everybody agrees. Now, according to the Gra, this is very glad, because according to the Gra, it means you better make the bracha on main shiva, because otherwise there's no bracha achroina, right? Okay, but it also shows kedima. It's a hierarchy, obviously. So it's main shiva. The shiva is, if there's a main shlosh afterwards, they're more chashuv, and therefore you should make the bracha on them, and only afterwards on the non-shiva samin, for which is just burning fashos. And everybody agrees to that. Now, Amar Rabbi Abba argues on the premise of B'Shua ben Levi. He says, now, if you have these things as a foreshpice, as an appetizer before you wash, you're not allowed to rely on Birkas HaMazon. You have to make the brachas on these things. In other words, you have to make the main shlosha or burn fashos. Then you can wash and proceed to bench. And the truth is that that case, even in the middle meal as something which is extraneous to the meal, according to Rabbi Boy, you have to make to come out your bench at the end of the meal, but you still have to make either before or after benching the separate bracha on this, which was not eaten as part of the meal as a whole. So, and so the Rabbi Yossi Hadad Rabbi Aplika Rabbi Shimon Levi. Shimon Levi holds that benching is motzi everything, even what he ate before the meal, and Rabbi argues. Shimon Levi Amar Maplika Rabbi Zil Rabbi Aram Shet Taitel Echol Pas. Avi Ein Taitel Echol Pas Kam Hamadu Yeshveim Bin Shiva Olam Varech. So Rabbi Shimon Levi holds benching exempts anything else, which you ate before, even what you ate before the meal. Right, but I have a tzarech b'sof. Not true. You have to make a bracha at the end of these things which you're eating. You can't rely on the fact you're eventually going to bench. Now, we're going to go with the next line according to the Mashbiach, and he says, "Lo birech." What happens b'diavad if you didn't make the bracha which you were supposed to make on the Shiva Sarminium or on the other species that you ate before the meal? So if you didn't make the bracha, naset tefela. So then it becomes tafel, meaning that the b'diavad, the payros which you ate before the meal are tafel to the pas, which becomes the ikar. And like we learned, Katina Tamon, koshu ikar v'imot tefela mevarech ikar poter esat tefela. When there was the ikar and tafel, you make a bracha on the ikar and you exempt the tafel. So we see clearly that what I said earlier, that the Shittas Yerushalmi is that ikar and tefela means whenever the foodstuffs, you make a bracha on the primary foodstuff, whether it's a taroivus or not a taroivus. So therefore, here too, by benching, by the bracha achrona, b'diavad, your yotze with the Berachos Hamazon, even on the payros. But l'chatchila is supposed to make a separate bracha on the payros. Well, that was somewhat of a brief blot since we started well into it, but we're already on the top of Samach Vav Amud Aleph, so therefore we'll stop here for today.